I just became really aware of how people start to treat you as soon as you have like VIP access or a backstage pass or something like that. And it's really like, I'm really disgusted by that type of energy, to be honest. This was one main reason why I didn't like to be in this industry anymore, because there was so much take, and everybody was just concerned about who has the best network and who is the most known in the scene, and like all this very superficial stuff that doesn't resonate with me. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to Rooted in the Cosmos. My name is Isabel Gloria, and I'm welcoming you to this wonderful new podcast episode. I hope you're feeling great. I hope you're tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome to the fam. This podcast has become such an integral part of my weekly routine and of connecting with you guys. I've been in contact with a lot of podcast listeners within the last couple of days because I'm in the middle of my launch. I'm in the middle of enrolling beautiful women into the Cosmic Wonders mentorship. So I've been in touch with quite a few of you, and I just wanted to give you a shout out and say hi. Today's episode is meant to be like a little activation TED Talk, motivational speech kind of thing, because I feel like this is really, really needed. I've been talking to so many women who really feel called to do something, but they don't know what exactly it is. And I think if you're listening to this podcast, it could also be that you don't even know where you're going and what you want to do, and you have this vision or this feeling of wanting to do something, wanting to contribute to a great shift or to do something with your wisdom, but you don't know what exactly and how to put it into tangible steps. And this vision, especially for advanced souls, for light workers, it often is more like a feeling. It's not a vision of like, I'm going to do this, and then this is my 5-year plan, and I'm going to invest in this, and I'm going to build this, and I'm going to, like, it's not like the typical milestones that other people have. So this vision can be more of like a feeling, not a tangible plan or a roadmap on how to get there. And this was also the case for me. So I always had this feeling that I was meant to do something that was truly fulfilling me and that was also contributing to something greater. But I didn't know what it was exactly. And I also had this thought of, who am I to even believe that? And who am I to even want that, or to put myself in such a special position as if I was meant to do something great? And I worked through all these limiting beliefs. I constantly do that with my clients as well. Like, imposter syndrome is really a tacky thing. If you have that, it can like really keep you from stepping into your power, because we constantly look for reasons why we're not good enough or why we're not special enough and all that stuff. So I definitely worked through this, and I help my clients work through that as well. But I definitely resonate with not knowing what I want to do. I'm sharing this because this is exactly where most people quit. They may start something, they feel their divine mission knocking on the door or in their hearts, but because it gets messy and they don't know what to do and they don't have the clarity from the get-go, they don't even start anything, or they quit whatever they are already doing because that feels easier. It feels easier to just not step into your potential and just do what everyone else is doing. Go back to your 9 to 5. Stop sharing your message online because you don't get feedback within the first couple of weeks. Like, all this stuff is so easy to quit. And that often is where people get stuck. They just quit. They don't continue. They don't have the resilience to keep going. And their reason is not big enough for why they want to do this. And what I can tell you from my own experience and from working with a lot of women in the last couple of years is that no matter what you're doing right now, even if it's not your end goal or the ultimate fulfilling thing, if you're trying things out, everything helps you to build your vision. It all serves you in some way and is necessary to find out what you're meant to do. even if it gets messy, even if you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do, there's always a deeper meaning behind that. If I look at my story, I originally worked in media design and I worked in marketing for a couple of years. Looking back, it taught me so much of what I need now. It taught me so much about leading an online business, about the online world in general, about marketing, about branding, all these things that I can now implement to teach it to my own clients and to help them build their brand, build their business in a very spiritual aligned way. So even though my approach is way more spiritual and way more connected and aligned than the typical business coach would teach it or the typical marketing strategist would teach it, there's still an aspect to it that really helps me that I have this background knowledge, because strategies and marketing and all these things, they still apply even if you're doing it a little bit differently, even if you're doing it in a very soul aligned way. So it definitely helped me. This is super random, but I also used to design, create, and sell my own jewelry online. And that also taught me something, which is I don't want to have a business with items and with stock, because that really stressed me out. Another thing that is not connected to what I do now, but also helps me in some capacity, was that I used to have a fashion blog. It was my first online project. It was my first entrepreneurial baby project ever, and it was quite successful for at the time. And I was able to travel to different fashion weeks and fashion events, and I would come in touch with so many people, with so many celebrities, and so many like media and press and all that stuff. And even though I don't really care about this kind of thing, like I don't care if I talk to a celebrity or to a random person, it still taught me so much about how it is to be in the public eye and what to avoid and how to act in front of a camera and how to act with people who are being paid to make a story out of everything. So I became really, really cautious about the press, about media in general, and about people who want to take from you because they see you as someone who has something that could like give them a push, if that makes sense. I just became really aware of how people start to treat you as soon as you have like VIP access or a backstage pass or something like that. And it's really like I'm really disgusted by that type of energy, to be honest. This was one main reason why I didn't like to be in this industry anymore, because there was so much take, and everybody was just concerned about who has the best network and who is the most known in the scene, and like all this very superficial stuff that doesn't resonate with me in any capacity. And this taught me so much about how I don't want to lead my life and about how I can avoid people like this who are really just trying to get something out of you and get a piece of you. It was not like I was super, super popular with this blog or anything, but it was like the beginning times of social media. It was the beginning time of having an online presence. And for that time, my blog and my social media presence was pretty big and pretty popular, which was the reason why I was invited to all these events and could bring people in and stuff like that. So even though I cannot talk from a perspective of someone being super popular or having like a really public life, I still got a taste of what it's like. And I just became really cautious about it. And if I ever happen to be offered to do something in the public or something like that, that just can happen if you are sharing your content online, if you are someone who is growing a community, I'm really well prepared, I believe. And I'm really well set with being cautious and knowing who to trust and who not to trust. So even that taught me something. And I'm 100% sure no matter what you do, everything is teaching you something. I don't want you to feel like you're on the completely wrong track if you're doing something now that isn't what feels aligned for you. Because in the end, you will still learn something from that experience. You will still take something from it. The important thing is that you don't settle with what you already have if you feel like there is more out there for you. We're living in the age of Aquarius, and this means that we are not just experiencing a rise in consciousness, we're also experiencing a rise in technology. And technology is what connects us all, it's what connects the modern world, and it also gives us new opportunities. And I strongly, strongly, strongly believe that this is not a coincidence. This is a very conscious choice by so many souls to come here at this time. We have the opportunity to reach thousands of people from everywhere in the world with the touch of a button. And we're just in the beginning phases of that. Like, technology will become so much more advanced and so much more connective. And this has never been the case before. And this kind of technology is just a reflection of organic interconnectedness. So we are all one, we are all interconnected in a web of energy. And it's important to use that reflection with positive intention, because with all like this development in AI and artificial intelligence and all these like crazy things that are going on, this could turn really bad really fast, but it also gives us like huge, huge opportunity. You could say it's like magic. You can do white magic, you can do black magic, and it's always the intention behind it that counts. So we really have to take a moment to realize what a gift social media is, and what a gift it is to be present at this time on this timeline, at the time of a great shift in humanity. Of course, it's annoying sometimes, and there are many negative sides to it. I'm not hiding that. But it's nothing more than a tool. And what counts is how we use it. Like I've just said, you can use it for white magic, you can use it for black magic, but you have the opportunity to choose what to do with it. If we use it to empower people every day, to build our legacies, to positively impact and transform other people's lives, and to create another worldview that is much more positive and much more connected and much more loving, then it's such a gift and such an important and integral part in this collective shift. I really believe that this is not a coincidence. Like, it sounds so silly and it sounds so earthy to say that, but I truly believe that the internet and the connectedness that comes with it plays a big role in the collective shift that is happening right now. It's a reflection of the consciousness that is accessible to us and that we can tap into. And everybody can use this tool called social media, the internet, to change their lives and to change the lives of other people. And for especially the older generations, this message isn't really clear. Your parents, for example, they may not have the same perspective on social media and on the internet than you have. And it's okay, because they cannot fully grasp it. They didn't grow up with it. They didn't grow into it. It just was there randomly and they had to adapt to it. But like the power and the potential of what an online business can have. And I always want you to remember that whenever you're struggling, whenever you're doubting if you can do it. Yes, you can. Hell yeah, you can. It's never been easier. I'm not telling you being a coach is easy or being an entrepreneur is easy. It comes with a lot of challenges. You need support. You need a good foundation. But if you would have had the same dream that you have now, a few hundred years or just a few decades ago, you wouldn't have been able to do that easily. So we are very, very privileged, and we have this huge gift. And telling yourself, I can't do it because I can't do it because this, because that, is just an excuse, because all you have to do is to start. The coaching industry has grown so much ever since the pandemic, and it keeps growing because people are struggling. It's a sad truth. But at the same time, the collective becomes more conscious of their struggles and they do not suppress them anymore. So self-care becomes important. Exploring your own emotions becomes important. Knowing yourself becomes important for people. That is why it's growing. It's an industry that keeps growing because there is a demand for it. And it will be dominated by lightworkers in the next couple of years. I truly see that happening. And I feel this energetically, that it's like a process of filtering out the people who are not genuine, who are not actually there to help people, but just to make money. They will be filtered out, and it will be some kind of natural selection kind of thing, because people will start to recognize who is genuine and who is not. And those with a genuine mission, with a genuine heart, they will come to the forefront. And that's like my whole message in my business, because I feel those people rising. I feel them coming, and I feel them in the collective energetically. And I feel you and so many others who are meant to step forward now. We have to change this industry and help people and impact them. And you can call it the coaching industry, the self-help industry. I don't really care what you call it. For me, it's like a stepping forward of Lightworkers. And we use a very 3D, tangible way to do that. But in the end, it's a divine cosmic mission. It's something spiritual that's happening. It just happens to be expressed in the coaching world because that's a place where it fits. But it's so much deeper than that. I really want you to take a moment when you're listening to this or after you've listened to this and really take it in. Like we call it the coaching industry, we see it in a very tangible way, we see it in a very 3D way. But is it really that 3D? Is it really that tangible? Isn't it just like a spiritual thing that's happening in our collective? And that's why it's growing so much. There have been so many documentaries and so many just people being called out for their bullshit if they just wanted to make money. It doesn't work anymore. And I'm not saying making money is bad. Like, I want to empower you to make money because you need that money to be able to serve people and to be able to do what you're meant to do. You need to be comfortable financially to be able to do this light work and to be able to fulfill your mission. I'm not pushing a bad money mindset on you, not at all. But there have been people, and there still are people in this industry who just see the money and who manipulate people into buying from them, who play with their feelings, who speak on their pain points and just manipulate very vulnerable people to give them money. That won't last that much longer. There will be some natural selection because the consciousness is rising and people are becoming aware of stuff like this. It's not working that easily anymore. You cannot sell a dream that doesn't feel authentic anymore. You have to have actual value and you have to have actual calling to be able to be someone in this industry. This is exactly what I mean when I say, if you have that calling, you're meant to step forward. You're not meant to never start because you're too scared or because you make yourself believe you cannot for this, or this reason. You are meant to do this and you are needed and your medicine is needed. Your magic is needed. And what I also often hear when I talk to clients or when I work with them is that they feel like they're not spiritually advanced enough or not advanced enough in their niche, in their profession. And I always say, like, look at the people who are just starting out. They could learn so much from you. There will always be a person or someone who is more advanced than you, who knows more than you, who is further along on the journey. But this doesn't make your work any less valuable for those just starting out or those who are a little bit behind you. Like you will always be ahead of some people who need your help, who would love to have you as a teacher. You can be the teacher that they needed when you were where they are now. Always remember that. There is no such thing as not being ready. You just talk to the right people, you call in the right people, and you will be ready for them. And you yourself, you may need another teacher who is ahead of you, and you can learn from them. It's always giving and receiving, giving and receiving. There is no such thing as not being ready or not being advanced enough. I have a little bit of a cold today, so I hope it isn't as obvious when you're listening to this. And I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope I could inspire you to really step into your confidence and to really see like the coaching industry as a whole or like the self-help industry as a whole as something that is being overtaken by light workers. There is really something going on. I can feel that. And many others can feel it too. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that you want to be part of and I want to be part of. And we should empower each other to keep going forward, to keep doing the thing. And if you are ready to really take it seriously now, to really make this bold decision of things are changing now, I want to invite you to apply for the Cosmic Wonders Mentorship. We start in a little bit more than 1 week, so there's not much time left. Most spaces are taken, but I really want to invite you to take the leap, to get in touch with me so we can find out how we can bring your business vision to life. You don't need to have a plan. You don't need to have any tangible ideas. That's what I'm here for. That's what this mentorship is meant to be. It's going to guide you into your purpose and in what you are meant to do. And I then will help you to turn this into a tangible business, to create the social media presence for it, to create your first offer so you can start thriving and start offering your services after this mentorship. That being said, I'm really looking forward to your application. You can always reach out on Instagram. It's at @isabelgloria. Come say hi. I hope to talk to you next Sunday for a brand new episode, and I am so ready to start working with you on Monday. So if you just hear or feel the tiniest little calling within, make sure to reach out and take your journey into your own hands.